Welcome to Around Town. I'm Roger Taylor, and I'm filling in for Gene, who is traveling. But we're here with Bailey's Fine Jewelry, with Clyde Bailey and Cindy Bailey Stone and Joy Keenan, and we're going to be talking about your small business for April, winter of the month, and go from there. And now we'll go out to the banner presentation.
Bobby, jump in the pit. I look just like myself, y'all. Here we go. 3, 2, sunglasses. WB, sunglasses on.
Good morning, everyone. I'm W.B. Bullock, the City Council representative for this area here. And on behalf of the city, I want to welcome all of you this morning for this great event here. And we are just so pleased to be a part of with the Chamber as you recognize your small business and all of the businesses in Rocky Mount for their accomplishments. And it's just a great day for us to be here with you this morning. Clyde, we're glad that you have been here these number of years and grateful for it, and I hope that you'll be here many more years. And thank you for what you do for our community, for our business, and for our city.
And good morning, I'm Reuben Blackwell, Chair of the Chamber Board of Directors this year, and we're just here to proclaim that Bailey boxes are in big demand in Rocky Mount. And we congratulate Bailey's in their excellent work and tradition that they have of service and quality, beautiful jewelry. And we congratulate you and your staff for everything that you do for all of us, and especially for our families and helping life to be a little bit better during the holidays.
Thank you. Smart man.
I got a good wife.
Absolutely.
Okay. And at this time, we'd like to introduce Joy Keenan, who is chair of our Small Business Committee.
On behalf of the Small Business Committee, we just want to congratulate y'all on winning the Small Business of the Month. It puts you in the running now for, in June, we'll have a Small Business ceremony, and you're in the running now for Small Business of the Year. But congratulations again, and thank you for everything you do for Rocky Mount. And I'm going to pass it over to Clyde to give us some words.
Thank everybody so much from the Chamber. For 66 years, the Rocky Mount and the surrounding communities have loved on us and embraced us and allowed us to do wonderful things for our family, our staff, and just what we get to do for everybody else. Like Bailey Boxes, been coming around a long, long time, but 66 years in one respect is a long time to be in a family business, but we're hoping it looks like a short period of time, but it's been 66 young years that we've been doing this, and what we get to do is very satisfying, but it's because of the people who've come to us for so many years, who have allowed us to be a part of their special moments in their families' lives that's made it been all worthwhile to us, and we are very grateful to everyone. Thank you very much.
Welcome back as we continue our discussion of Bailey's Fine Jewelry. Cindy and Clyde, we're going to talk about the history of your family business starting back in 1948 downtown, I believe.
Well, I wasn't here then, Roger, but
I was barely.
That's right. Okay, but we won't go there.
Okay.
But in 1948 is when my mother and father came to Rocky Mount, and they opened up a little store on Nash Street. Everything all centered around Belk's. And Belk's was on the corner of Main Street and Nash Street. And they had a little side street store there. And my daddy was a watchmaker and a jeweler, and my mother had learned how to be a bookkeeper when she went to school. And so the two of them started out like everybody does, just simply taking in people's jewelry repairs and watch repairs. They didn't have any jewelry. Yeah. But as one person would come in and get in a relationship with my daddy, and they'd say, I need a wedding band. I think I'm getting married. My daddy ordered a wedding band for them. And then the next day, I need a watch band for my watch. So he'd order a watch band. So he started carrying some inventory. So it started there. We just wound it in a jewelry store because he listened to the customers. The customers told him what their needs were, and it grew from there. So they were there for a few years, but they knew they weren't on the main section of town. And there was a jewelry store that had been around for like 70, 80 years on Main Street called Fox Jewelers. And it was next to Almonds. And so it went up for sale, and my daddy bought it for the Fox family. And back in those days, you didn't let go of a name that you wanted to add to it and keep the heritage going for the customers. And so the name of the store was Fox and Bailey's. So Fox and Bailey's was there until 1963. I just happen to remember there. But my daddy was renting the building, and they kept raising the rent every 2 or 3 years. Things were booming downtown Rocky Mount. Trains were coming through. There was a hustle bustle on the streets every day. And back in those days at nighttime when I was a little boy, you left your jewelry in your show windows at night because people would come in and they'd window shop.
Yeah.
And people would come into town at night, get their parking spots, and that's where you meet friends, visit family members, and walk up down the street and look into the windows. And then about 9 o'clock, my daddy, my mother, and I would get in the car, and we would drive back up to the store, and he and I, my mother, would empty out the windows and close it up because about 8:30, 9 o'clock is when everybody was heading back home, because there weren't like there's a lot of TV stations back in those days, even though there was 4. And so, but your windows were very important. But side street they didn't come to; they needed to be on Main Street. So he did that, but he had an opportunity to buy a building in the block where the Cameo Theater was, not the center, which is the Cameo Theater. And that wasn't the best block, but he said, well, it'll be close enough, so he bought the building. It was a little 11-foot wide building. It was 100 feet deep, so it was kind of like a wide bowling alley, a bowling lane, that is. And so my mother and daddy bought that store and called that Bailey's and started selling 45 records because they needed something to bring the traffic in. So it was 45 records and jewelry. And so they got that going, and 6 months after that, my daddy died. He had a heart attack and died right in January. No, August. It was in August. He died
I was 3 years old. Clyde
right.
was 10.
I was 10. My sister was 3. And my mother didn't know what in the world she was going to do. But my daddy had taught her enough about repairing watches. She could do some watch repair. She knew about hand-to-hand, but she knew how to keep books. And if you know how to keep books and manage money, if you've got customers coming in and you're conservative enough, you're going to make it work. And my mother was basically, as we understand, the first businesswoman who owned a business in Rocky Mount. I think it was her and Ruby Braswell.
Okay.
Were the two women
of
all.
Two names from the past.
That's right. This was a men's world of owning businesses, excluding my mother and Ruby Braswell. They were the lady business owners in town. And so my mother kept the business going. And then I graduated from high school, Rocky Mount Senior High in 1970. And so I went off to Mount Olive College for 6 months to realize that's not what I want to do. And I woke up one day, there's a long story behind it, but I decided I want to be a watchmaker and I want to get into the jewelry business. And so there had to be a school in Goldsboro for 2.5 years to learn how to be a watchmaker and a jeweler. So I did that, came back home, and my mother was ready to retire. She'd been doing it a long time by herself. We had 4 other people in the store with us. So
I was off in college.
And Sidney was off in college. So with that said, I took over and then kept it going until 1982. We came out here to West End Plaza. And then in 1986, Rocky Mount kind of changed downtown because Golden East Crossing came. When Belks decided to go, everybody was going with them. So that opened up in August of 1986. So in 86 is when we finally transferred our downtown store to the mall. So we were downtown for 39 years.
And then have come out and expanded on from there. Cindy, why don't you talk something about the expansion? Clyde may be, but you the face of the Rocky Mountain.
All this time, all the things he was doing, I was there somewhere. I don't know, anyway.
Well, share it with me.
Well, funny thing, I just remember that. I remember you talking about the merchandise in the windows and stuff. But the flip side of that, the bad side, is that sometimes somebody would break the windows out during the night. We would get robbed. And I remember getting picked up in my sleep, put in the back seat of the car, and taken down there to meet the police and take care of the situation. It's just a lot of stories and stuff. But gosh, the expansion.
You went to the mall store, right?
Yeah, I came when I moved back to Rocky Mount after college, which I went to college and stayed 10 years down in Wilmington. And who would blame me? Came back in '87, and by that time the mall had just kind of opened, and I went there and just really wasn't even planning on staying. I just kind of, I don't know, it was just kind of a transition thing, and I mean, I'm still here.
Cindy got hooked.
And I've done, I did, and I've done everything you can think of.
We're in the love business, and it's easy to fall in love with doing what we do.
Well, and as I said earlier, it's about relationships and things, and we appreciate you sharing this history with us. Now we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about the many community activities that you support in Rocky Mount, and we'll have Clyde 3.
Absolutely. Third generation.
Yeah, okay. Thanks a lot.
Are you just starting out on your own and want to be independent? Do you have a family and need a bigger home? Are the kids moving out? And are you downsizing? First Carolina Realty can help. A 1 or 2 bedroom apartment or house for those starting out. A 3 or 4 bedroom home for a growing family. Rentals, sales, new homes, pre-owned homes, investment property in the city or in the country. Call First Carolina Realty. Now is a good time to make that move. Real estate prices are right, interest rates are low, and there is a fantastic selection of homes available.
First Carolina Realty is a fully licensed real estate firm with offices at 3151 Zebulon Road in Rocky Mount.
If you have rental properties and are tired of the headaches associated with managing them yourself, or if you're looking for a new management team to manage your rental properties, call First Carolina Realty at 252-985-2321. Visit our webpage at firstcarolinarealty.com. We will gladly help you with all your real estate needs.
Hi, I'm Jean Almond of Almond's Drugs, and I want to invite you to be Almond's customer for your prescriptions. Our average pharmacy wait for your prescription is only 10 to 15 minutes. We have drive-through windows at both locations. We will deliver your prescription free. Our friendly and very experienced pharmacists specialize in consultation, and we are locally owned and have been a loyal part of your community for over 70 years. Just make one phone call to us and we'll make the transfer so we can start taking care of you.
Clyde, as you know, being the April Small Business of the Month for Bailey's Fine Jewelry is always exciting, but you can't be here alone, and it's important to share with us your employees and what the value they add to your firm.
Well, they're a lot more than employees, Roger. They're part of our family, and we all laugh together and we've cried together. But we're a team, and our team is one. And so we're going to start out here and introduce you Tammy Hicks. Now, Tammy's been with me since she was 15 years old. I don't think we're going to find out how old she is now, but she's been with us a long time, haven't you, Tammy?
Yes, sir.
All right, so tell them a little bit of what you do.
Well, I started downtown. I started as an engraver, and I would come in after school, after high school, and work in the afternoon. And now I'm the sales support manager here at the West End store.
Well, congratulations.
So I've done a little bit of everything with Bailey's.
Well, good.
We have watched Tammy grow up. She's still a kid, but we've watched her grow up.
That adds value.
Absolutely, but she knows everybody, and everybody knows her.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
And right here, this is Linda Ross. Now, Linda Ross has been here almost as long as I have, haven't you, Linda?
That's right.
All right, but tell me a little bit about yourself.
I've been with Bailey's for 35 years.
Get out.
Oh, yeah.
But who's counting?
That's right. And I have done over the years a little bit of everything at Bailey's.
Absolutely. Linda's been the manager here. She's kind of like the quintessential mom here at this point. You and Joyce, I would say, wouldn't you?
That's exactly right. And right now I'm currently in customer service. And also I proudly serve the Chamber of Commerce as an ambassador.
Well, we will see how important they are. They are important each and every day, right, Joy?
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you very much, Linda. All right, now here comes the battle wagon himself. This is Mr. Donnell Battle. Donnell is my brother from a different mother. And my wife has always said that because we're kind of cut from the same cloth. But Donnell, tell them how long you've been here and a little bit about yourself.
I've been working here at Bailey's for 26 years. Salesperson, enjoy it. Nothing no beautiful than selling a beautiful piece of jewelry to you beautiful men and women.
But Donnell's kind of our front man. He's our pitch man. He knows everybody walking through the door. He just gives them a great big shout out. He just loves on them, don't you, Donnell? He loves it.
It's important.
No doubt about it.
Absolutely right.
Congratulations on being a part of this winning firm.
Thank you, sir. Okay. Appreciate it.
All right. Who's next here? We got a designer here. This is Mr. Doug Lewis. Mr. Doug Lewis is a fantastic jewelry designer. He's a platinum smith, diamond setter. You can probably do a little watch repair every now and then, can't you?
Then I sneak one
Tell us a little bit how long you've been here with us, Doug.
I've been with Bailey's for 22 years and enjoyed every minute of it. We do complete manufacturing and fabricating of merchandise, diamond rings and colored stone rings. Of platinum, 18 karat, 14. We do all kinds of repair work of any sort. We try to fix anything and everything for everybody in this town, and we have covered all the bases, and we'll continue doing so to please everybody in Rocky Mount. And I enjoyed working with him.
And he does a great job. Let me tell you something. He's Mr. Fix-It Man, like he's saying. And a woman, she comes in with a broken piece of jewelry. She's got a frown on her face. When she leaves, that piece of jewelry is absolutely gorgeous again. They ladies leave with a smile on their face, and that's because of this guy right here.
We find a way.
Absolutely. Thank you, Douglas.
Thank you so much.
All right, who's next? And this is Doug's partner. This is Kung. Kung is our Vietnamese Rocky Mount family member. Now, Kung, how long you been with us?
26 years.
26 years. Kung came to us from Garden City, Kansas. Isn't that where we hired you from?
Yeah.
So he's been a Rocky Mount person a long, long time, but he does a lot of the jewelry design as well. Tell him about that, Kung.
I do jewelry design. I do fabrication, repair work, almost like everything. Yeah.
He's a very talented designer, excellent jeweler, and he's one of the team that puts those smiles on those ladies' faces when they come in here. And even if something's not broken, Kung and Doug, they'll take something that looks kind of dirty and torn and hasn't been getting a lot of attention, a lot of love in a long time. When it leaves here, it's sparkling, shining. It's kind of like an extreme makeover. You know, we're the extreme makeover shop for ladies' jewelry. Yeah. Thank you, Kung.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, now this is Kim Horton. She's one of the newer members on our team coming to Rocky Mount. You're a Wilson native, aren't you?
I am.
But then you went to Raleigh.
I did.
So she's a triangle, so you worked your way back to Rocky Mount. Tell us a little about you.
I did. I've been with Bailey's 3.5 years, and I transferred from our Crabtree location. I've been in Rocky Mount about 1.5 years now.
She fell in love.
I fell in love with
somebody
an
in Rocky Mount.
awesome, amazing man that drew me back here to Rocky Mount, so I'm blessed to be back here.
Absolutely. Now, she's one of our front people. She's a sales lady as well. And I think Kim would love to have every piece of jewelry in our store, but since she can't afford every one of them, she gets to help other people buy them, right?
That's exactly right. That's the way to do it.
Gift that keeps on giving.
Exactly.
She takes care of the Bailey boxes at the front door. Let me tell you that right now. Thank you. All right. Jessica. All right. This is Jessica Hitz. Now, she was born and raised in Rocky Mount.
Yes, sir.
Now, I know your mama was because I knew your mama, Debbie, all my life. But was he from Rocky Mount?
he was born and raised in Lumberton.
Okay, he was a state patrolman.
Yes.
Okay, tell us a little about yourself.
I love to work here. I've been here 9 years, and I've enjoyed it. I work on the sales floor. I did a whole lot of things at first. I worked at corporate. I worked in the mall. I came here. I worked in the repair department. I just enjoy it. I love helping people. I love selling jewelry.
That's right.
Well, it seems like you're the young one in an older group of family.
Absolutely.
You're the child.
She's the young blood. That's right. She's a big kid. Let me tell you, she got a heart bigger than Texas. She's got the cutest little children.
Thank
like
you.
I said, she's definitely part of the fabric of Rocky Mount.
Well, great.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations.
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, this is my sister, Cindy. Cindy Bailey Stone. Now, you know, we all grew up in the business behind the counter. I don't know, you didn't hang out as much as I did, did you?
I used to wrap presents when I was like 10.
Well, I did it when I was. You know, I do remember you messed up the present. I did a good job of rapping. I don't know if I liked your rapping actually, but anyway, tell a little bit about you, Cindy Lou.
Well, gosh, I've been actually active in the business since 1987. And have done all kinds of things, anywhere from office management, credit management at the mall.
You were at the mall, yeah.
And then I was in corporate for a long period of time in merchandising, which I love merchandising and displaying and such. And now the corporate office has moved to Raleigh, so I relocated here and I love it. I love working with patrons and it's a lot of fun. I really love it.
And right now you're the face of the Rocky Mount group.
That's right. I'm the Bailey in the crowd in Rocky Mount.
Well, we invited my mother here. Our mother's 88 years young, but my mother said that we could do a better job of representing everybody because there's three generations of us still here, but she said today was her hair day, and she said she wanted her hair to look real good for Easter Sunday, when she goes to church, and so that's the only reason that she's not here because she had a hair day.
Yeah. She'd be awesome. We would have a long interview with her. She's got lots of information, all the history.
Yeah.
She loves to share it.
Absolutely.
She's awesome. She's the backbone of this business, really.
Well, thank you and your family, and congratulations on
Thank you.
this.
Very proud. Thank you so much.
All right, and now this is my son Trey Bailey.
The third generation.
He's the third generation. That's right. He's the brains in the family. I guess I was I just kind of dug in deep and just did what I had to do, being a watchmaker and a jeweler and everything. But Trey went off and got him a good education, so he's a business major and marketing. So he's going to take the things from here and let it sprout some wings, and he'll figure out how to fix what I messed up. Right, Trey?
Well, I'm his favorite son, by the way. Actually, I'm the only son. Yeah. But I went to, after college, I decided to go to Gemological Institute of America, and went out there in California. Went out there and I actually met my wife, and she was a jewelry designer, and she was getting her graduate gemology degree as well. And Dad always loves to say that I went out to California to learn about gems, and I brought home one.
Yeah, well, that's exactly right.
But it's an honor to carry on the tradition here. A lot of pressure. Third generations don't have a good track record, so Dad, I hope I don't screw this up for us.
Well, you're on your own, buddy.
Well, that's great. This is so exciting to meet your employees, and of course the viewers will enjoy seeing them, because most of them have seen them or talked with them or worked with them because they aren't on the first day job.
You're right. We're blessed with. Like, they're not employees. They're the most. Our jewelry is valuable. We care very about everything, but our greatest asset is the people. That is the heart and soul of Bailey's, and we're blessed that they don't come and go. You can count on, in the family business, you come in here and you'll see the same faces day in and day out, year after year. 30-some years. Joyce Bennett, who's off today. Joyce Bennett's been with us for 45 years. She's been here 2 years longer than I was a part of Bailey's, and she's actually decided to retire the last day of this month. And but 45 years working at Bailey's, starting with downtown. Then she went to our mall store for 22 years, and then she came here. So there's a long history of people who are absolutely a part of the fabric of the Rocky Mount community.
I understand that there's one employee that's not here today that may be having other activities that are taking her time.
Of all days, our wonderful manager, Audrey Humphreys, sister's getting married this weekend, in kind of a Southern tradition that kind of starts today, getting everything ready for her, helping her sister. She's got two sisters, but one of them's getting married, like I said. And so she's not here today, but she'd be here with us otherwise. But she's a certified gemologist. She went to Gemological Institute of America just like I did in California, as well as Trey did, as he mentioned just a minute ago. And then she came back to Rocky Mount. She was born and raised in Rocky Mount, moved to California, lived out there for a good while. I think she met her husband out there, and they came back here. He works for the Postal Service, and of course Audrey manages this store. So everybody here has deep roots from Rocky Mount for the most part. I think we got maybe one person who is not, but then Wilson's pretty close. Yeah.
And we're back from meeting all their wonderful employees. We know that they're like family to you guys, and we have a new guest with us, Trey Bailey, and we'd like to kind of get a little bit of history on you and kind of when you started with the business and where it's gone from there.
Well, as I said before, I went off to California to learn about gems and become a gemologist. Met my wife out there. When we moved back, we actually worked for a few other jewelers around the country for a little while first, to get some experience in other places. I thought it was a good idea by us and my folks to get some experience in other jewelry stores around the country. Learned a lot doing that. And then when we came home, we actually moved to Greenville, North Carolina. And we went down to Greenville, our store there, had a blast, and just really became family with the folks down there. Loved it down there. And after a little while, we moved to Raleigh. And at one point, my wife said to me, after we bought our house, "Would you kill me if I said I want to move back to Raleigh? Move back to Greenville?" And I said, "Well, yes, since we just bought a house, I would." So she loved it. We loved it down there. But we made our home in Raleigh now, and so it's been a great time. I've been in the business for about 10 years now, and my brother-in-law is in the business. My sister has retired for now, at least, being a stay-at-home mom.
Yeah, our daughter Morgan is the one who got us into the giftware and the bridal registry business, because she liked to play store as a little girl. Mm-hmm. Then she became a big girl, graduate from Carolina, wanted to open up a store, a gift shop in Charlotte. So we said, why don't you do it locally? So we brought her back here. She opened up a gift department here in Rocky Mount, Raleigh, and Greenville. Then one day she went to my wife and said, "I quit. I'm ready to quit." So she went home. So my wife has been taking her, Jane, overseeing that.
Yeah. So it brings in a lot of folks. So the giftware department is great because it gives people more reasons to come into Bailey's if they have a baby gift they need to get, bridal registry, even a housewarming gift gives people more reasons to come into Bailey's.
Well, I think too that part of the reason people come into Bailey's is because they see your name out there in the community, and we obviously can tell that you guys do a lot in the community. Will you guys elaborate a little bit for us and tell us kind of all the things you do to help Rocky Mount?
Well, we are the community jeweler. That's the way we look at ourselves. And so obviously part of that is definitely giving back to the community. Now we've become a fairly big company. We still think of ourselves as small, but we've become fairly big. But I think the best thing we do is no matter how big we keep getting is we keep thinking small. And part of that is in each of our communities that we're in, we try to give back. And we're very, very involved in everything. So much so we have a team that just focuses on that, on community outreach. So,
and part of the things, I know you sponsor a lot of the events at the Chamber. You have your own, what's the name of your?
A Time to Give program?
Right.
Yeah, that's one of the things that, actually my brother-in-law came up with that name. It was actually a perfect name, but it was our employees who had the idea of helping us out. We obviously do a lot of watch batteries, and you charge for that. Well, we decided to quit charging for it and have a charity of the month in each of our communities, and asking people for a donation. They don't have to donate. They don't have any money on them. No big deal, But we have people. Watch battery is usually about $10. We have people. When we tell them what charity it is that month, if they're passionate about that charity, they'll put in $20. They'll put in $100.
We've had $100.
We've had $100 bills.
Wounded warriors.
Yeah.
Things. The veterans. We have men put a $100 bill in there because.
Yeah. We've raised almost $100,000 in a few years.
Well, and that's a community activity. Yeah. But we appreciate all that you've been doing and continue to do. We thank your mom and dad from starting it. We thank Cindy, your sister, Trey, your son. We thank you for the community. We congratulate the nominations that come in, because the nominations come in, review it, and Bailey's Fine Jewelry was our April winner. We congratulate you.
By the way, April is Diamond Month. how appropriate.
Okay. But we congratulate you, and we'll see you next time, as Gene would say.